This week we've been looking at salvation that God offers freely to all who will accept it. And Christ, with his sacrifice, makes it available to everyone. Good morning, I'm Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisseton, Illinois, with your thoughts for Friday. The writer of the book of Hebrews makes many comparisons where he points out that Christ is always greater. He starts out by talking about how Christ is better than the angels, or Christ is better than the priesthood that was developed in the Old Testament. Even Melchizedek is mentioned here as having a priesthood forever. We don't really know much about his background or even his priesthood. We know that he appeared in Genesis chapter 14, where Abraham gave him the tithe of all the spoil that he took when he overcame the kings and brought back Sodom and their people. But even when the Bible says that he has a priesthood forever, we understand that his priesthood was only temporary because he himself would die and leave this world. But Hebrews points out that the everlasting priesthood of Jesus Christ, who will never face death again after raising from the dead and ascending off to heaven, and since Christ is this great high priest with a priesthood forever, he says in Hebrews 7:25, therefore he is also able to save to the uttermost those who come to God through him, since he always lives to make intercession for them. Therefore, Christ offers a pardon like no other high priest could do. I realize that sometimes the high priest would receive a sacrifice, and by that they would cover man's sin for a certain time period, or even a certain sin was mentioned there. But Christ is able to save to the uttermost, which means he has the power and the authority to save even the vilest sinner who comes to God through him. No sacrificial lamb or turtle doves or whatever are required for this priesthood. He has offered an entrance to God through his personal sacrifice at Calvary. And we know he opened that access to God because when he was crucified there on Calvary, the temple veil was rent from the top to the bottom and opened up the Holy of Holies and gave access to man to God. So this Jesus has the power to save to the uttermost all who will come by him. But he gives another great advantage that Christ has offered to man here. He said, seeing as how he always lives to make intercession for them. After leaving this earth and declaring his mission accomplished, he went back to heaven and he sat down at the right hand of the Father. But he is not sitting there as one that has completed his mission and now he is resting. No, the Bible says, as he sits beside the Father, he is ever making intercession for the saints. So he is still our high priest today. And Christ has not only made our salvation possible, but he still offers that open access to God as he intercedes for every saint that would come to God every day.